Hey there, in this video I will show you how to correctly set up right to left direction in Webflow. This is for anyone who wants to build an Arabic or Hebrew website, and we will use my company website as a simple example to show you how it's done. So let's get started. The first reference when we're trying to do something like this is always to go to W3C, right? They basically put out the industry standards for Webflow development, for web development in general, and how to do it. So they've got a nice article here which is called Structural Markup and Right to Left Text in HTML. And if you look at that article, you can read yourself, but the most important thing that we have is here. If the overall document direction is right to left, we have to add the direction RTL to the HTML tag. Now, mind, this is an attribute that we need to add, and to have you understand how this works, I will give you a little bit of an introduction to HTML, because I know many people use Webflow, but they don't really understand the basis behind it. So I'll give you a simple example here. This is basically an HTML document, right? It's the same thing that we're using in Webflow. There it's just visual, and we're going to jump back into Webflow, so don't worry about it, but this is just so you visualize it. So what you have is the HTML tag, right? So this basically wraps the whole website, right? And you have the head tag. This is where that's where you often put in JavaScript code or site-wide CSS code, right? And then you have the body, and the body you have basically the visual stuff that you build in Webflow, right? If you compare it over here, you have the body here, and then in the page settings, you have the inside head tag, which is the head tag from right here, and you have the before body tag, which is basically between the head and the body tag, right? So that's what we have. And if you want to set the direction of right to left, we're going to go into the HTML tag. We're going to say direction is right to left. That's it. If we run the document now, you can see that it works. Right? The document has switched the direction to right to left. Now, there's just one problem with it. Webflow doesn't allow us to simply add an attribute to the HTML tag. Right? So there's no visual way to do it. And I assume it's for security reasons, but the only way we can really do this is actually by using JavaScript. So let's do this. Let's put in a div block. We're going to call it global RTL element, and we're going to add in a custom code embed, which is right here. I'm going to put this like this, okay? I'm going to name this one JavaScript direction, right? We're going to need this. Sorry, not JavaScript. Actually, yes, sorry. Yeah, of course, JavaScript. All right, so we're going to go in here, and we're going to script tags out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set the attribute, right? And so to target the HTML tag, we're going to write document.document element dot set attribute. Then we open up this here direction RTL, and that's it. This is the script. Now we're going to hide this global RTL element, of course, and then we're going to click on publish. So while we wait a few seconds, when we go on the live website now, here we go. If you reload the page, as you can see, the whole direction has changed. And I'm going to show you the back end of this. As you can see here, the HTML tag now has the direction RTL set to this. So far so good. This is basically what you need to do. However, as you can see, there's one little problem. It doesn't visualize in the Webflow Designer, right? And ultimately, that's what Webflow is for. You want to be able to build visually, and although this is now working correctly and up to W3C standards, it's not how you want to design Webflow. So the other option we have now to actually change the direction here is to use a CSS direction. Now, if you look again here into the article, it says to never use CSS to apply the base direction, right? Which basically means that this should not be the main thing on the website, right? So what is CSS direction? It's basically a different way of setting a document direction. So if you go to the body, for example, you have down here the so-called direction. This is CSS direction, right? This is not something you usually use. It's there for, certain not so common scenarios, but in this case, it's here. So what we can do is you can set it like this, right? This is a way to do it. We're not going to set it on the body tag. We're going to set it on the HTML tag, and we're going to do it by using custom code, right? Because again, we can't target the HTML tag visually. So we're going to use code. And so this is going to be a CSS code. So we're going to put in the style wrappers, this, and then we're going to say HTML tag, open up the brackets, and we set the direction to RTL. That's it. Now we see this visually. And if I publish again, you can see what's going to happen. Not much is going to change, right? It's going to still look the same here. I'm going to open up the console again. This is the developer tools, of course. And as you can see, the direction is still here. And now we also have this direction RTL set here, right? If I set this to LTR, by the way, it changes back because the CSS in this case has, I believe it's called higher specificity. So it basically overrides the initial attribute direction set, right? So this is just something to keep in mind. Now, we don't want this to be here anymore on the live side. So what we will do, we're going to remove this, okay? So we're going to remove this code here. And we're going to do it by giving this here a class of CSS direction. And we're going to copy this, and we're going to go to JavaScript. We're going to programmatically remove the embed, okay? So again, we go in document.query selector, CSS direction. So this basically selects the class, the element of the class CSS direction. And we're going to say to remove it like this. Right, so now, as you can see, in the Webflow Designer, it all looks good. I'm going to publish it to the live site. And now if we open this up again, as you can see, the direction RTL attribute is still here, but the CSS direction is gone. And now this is what it should be like. This is a W3C compliant right to left document direction setup for Webflow. So that's how we do it. So there's a global RTL element, you have the CSS direction, you have the JavaScript direction. What you want to do, you want to create a component out of this. Just make a simple component, and this is what you want to use on all pages. So on all pages where you have right to left direction, you put this on. And that's it. Now, you can copy the code from the link in the description. I put a Notion page up just for you. An even better approach is to check out RTLflow. Now, we're at the Rocky, which I'm the founder of. We develop enterprise-grade Webflow website, and we operate in the Middle East. So we've been doing this for a while. We've created a system that helps us to create organized structured Webflow websites using right-to-left languages. And that system is called RTLflow. And so this thing basically is built on top of Client First, which is the industry standard for naming and structure, and Room Library. So you want to check this out. I believe if you develop any type of right-to-left language website, you should use this system. Or just try it out, okay? You've got a style guide here, you've got documentation. I'm going to put up more videos in the future. Right now, I'm going to just link what I have in the top right corner. When the video course is out, I'm going to link it as well. So check this out. Wish you all good luck. We're going to have more videos up in the future. So yeah, stay tuned.